Hello, my name is Frank Camorra from Movida in Melbourne. Today I'm going to cook for you a classic tapa from Barcelona called a bomba for Matchbox. Okay, so we need to finely dice about half an onion or so. This is actually fresh chorizo. You want to make sure that you're not buying a cured chorizo, which is going to be hard inside. I'm just peeling away the casing. I'll do that to the second one. And I usually just break that up into a bowl, into small pieces. Now we need to cook these ingredients together in a pan. So we put a little bit of olive oil into our pan, the onions in, and cook those down a little bit. We'll add our chorizo that we've taken out of its casings. After a few minutes, chorizo started to cook down a little bit. We're going to add our paprika. So there's a little bit of sweet and a little bit of hot paprika in there. A little bit of sherry to cook it down even further. Turn that down a little bit, and we're going to let that cook until all that liquid's evaporated, the chorizo's cooked through nice and tender, and that'll be our filling for our bombas. I'm going to make for you an amazing dressing. It's called a mojo picon. It's one of my favourite dressings to use on all sorts of things, from grilled fish to meats to vegetables. It comes from the Canary Islands. So I've roasted off 3 peppers, 180 degrees for about 30 minutes until they're nice and tender. Then I'm going to pop the flesh into a bowl, and all that juice, I'm going to make sure that that doesn't go to waste, and we're going to strain that in with the peppers as well. The only thing we really don't want are the skin and the seeds. Into a blender it goes. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in with it. I'm going to put a whole garlic clove. Now I've got a mixture of spices here that have been roasted and ground. I've got cumin seeds and fennel seeds. I've got some paprika, again some Spanish paprika, and a touch of Spanish hot paprika. Into our blender we're going to put some of these spices into now. So we'll put some tablespoons of this in there. Into there we're going to pop our olive oil. Into here we're also going to pop some beautiful sherry vinegar. That tastes amazing. For the actual bomba itself, we've cooked about 1 kilo of waxy potatoes. What I'm going to do is just cut them in half. See this nifty little ricer here? I can pop the potato in there unpeeled as it is, and it'll actually come out with the peel left inside. It works beautifully. So once we've riced all the potatoes, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of sea salt, and just a small amount of olive oil goes in there as well. And we're going to mix that together. Okay, so to put the bombas together, we're going to take about a scoop of the mix. Pop that in your hand. What I like to do is just flatten it a little bit in my hand into a round disc, and then in the middle of it I make a little indentation. Into there we put a little bit of chorizo filling, and we wrap that in over itself and into a ball. What we need now is to crumb them. So very simple process. A bit of flour, which I've added a little bit of salt to, just to give it a bit of seasoning. Dust it off. Then egg wash. So there are just a couple of whole eggs. I don't usually use any milk, just straight eggs. And then keeping one hand dry, pop them into your breadcrumbs, so with your dry hands. Then just make sure you coat them very, very nicely, and pop those onto a clean plate. Okay, so once they've been sitting in your refrigerator for an hour or two, so they're nice and firm, we can cook these in some fresh oil. 5 or so minutes to cook in the oil. Okay, once they're nicely browned, we're going to take these out now. So the idea is that they're nice and crispy on the outside, but not too dark, and beautiful and fluffy on the inside. Just a little bit of salt, what I've got for the base is just mayonnaise, and then I've added a little bit of tomato sauce and Tabasco too. So it's just like a little cocktail sauce. And on top of that, we're going to put our Bombas. I've got some of this lovely mojo pecan sauce that we've made. I'm just going to pop that over the top. Be fairly generous with this, because this is what really gives us that great flavour. Then I just like to finish it with just a tiny bit more of this mayonnaise, just a little bit. There you go, there's the finished dish, which is the classic bomba from Barcelona.